there was a show that nobody watched, or just a few people watched, and it did do very well. Barely even lasted a season. I think it got canceled before all the episodes actually aired. And that show would be called Freaks and Geeks. This is an amazing show. It was created by the director of Bridesmaids, Paul Feig, and it was also produced by Judd Apatow, who since 2005 has given us some awesome comedy films with a lot of heart. You know, this actual show, if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend you rent it, had a bunch of actors in it. I'm just going to name a few. James Franco, Seth Rogen, and hey look, there's Jason Segel. Look at that. Jason Segel's excellent in this film, in this movie, and this is excellent in this series. This is a great, one of my favorite box sets and one of my favorite shows. Sadly, I did not watch at the time. I picked this up when it came out on DVD in, I don't know when this DVD was released, but I picked this up and it's one of the best things I ever bought on DVD. The cast on the show has exploded in the last 10 years, and I'm happy that for the most part most of these people are still acting and are pretty famous now. Thank you, Judd Apatow. But I want to talk about Jason Segel. As we all know, Jason Segel is in a successful TV show, How I Met Your Mother. Never really watched that show, but I highly recommend, if you've got some time, go on YouTube and type in The Sexless Innkeeper and watch that little clip. It's a really great part. It's probably the only, it is the only scene I've ever seen in How I Met Your Mother, and it's one of my favorite scenes. It is my favorite scene because it's the only one. What am I talking about? The Sexless Innkeeper. Check it out. YouTube that. Maybe when it's all said and done, I'll sit down and watch all 30 seasons of it. I don't know what season it's in now. I'd probably ask a friend. I didn't really know who Jason Segel was. I had watched the show Freaks and Geeks, and he was good in it, yes. But for me, he did not stand out until 2008, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which at that time, at that year, in 2008, was on... It's still, what am I saying? That was one of my favorite movies of 2008. It also showed to the world Russell Brand, who was just amazing. I think it's the best thing he's ever done, and it might be the best thing Russell Brand ever does. Now I kind of find him annoying, but that film, Russell Brand, is a genius. Ever since then, I've been really interested in following Jason Segel's career. He has done a lot of amazing things, especially bringing back the Muppets last year with his good friend Nicholas Stoller, who also directed Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Get Me to the Greek, and now this film, The 5-Year Engagement, which also stars tons of people. I mean, there's just cameos from everywhere, and I really don't want to say who's in this movie, but there's just lots of people, and it was a lot of fun to go, oh my gosh, they're actually getting more than just a cameo. It's a small part, but they're getting more. Of course, in the trailer we know that it's Jason Segel and Emily Blunt and Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is... I really like Chris Pratt, especially in Parks and Recreation. And Moneyball. Have you seen Moneyball? Check out Chris Pratt in Moneyball. He's got a small part, but he's still quite awesome to watch. And he's playing someone that's not a funny man. He's actually being more dramatic. So I think he can do both. The trailer to this film was kind of disappointing. It was a funny trailer, don't get me wrong. It was a really funny trailer. But I couldn't help but go, oh, is this is the whole movie? Is this all the funny parts they're showing to us right now? Yes, it's a Judd Apatow flick, and in my eyes, for the most part, they are. They're a lot of fun. And I was just worried watching this going, okay, it's from the director of Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and it's got Jason Segel and all these other people. I can't help but say, will it live up to Forgetting Sarah Marshall? That set the bar for those Jason Segel movies, even though The Muppets is pretty freaking amazing. I love The Muppets. Thank you. If Jason Segel, if you ever watch this review, I just want to thank you for bringing back The Muppets. We really miss them. I love growing up with The Muppets. Okay, done with that. Thank you again. Another thing that bummed me about going to see this movie was that the title was just put a time period on the film, and I felt like couldn't we have gotten a better title, like The Long Engagement or just The Engagement, instead of call it The 5-Year Engagement? So it just, I walk into this movie going, okay, I know in 5 years either they hook up or they don't. That's it. I mean, I would have loved if it was called The Long Engagement and it went over the course of maybe 10 years, and then finally something happens or they just go their separate ways. I was watching the movie, and I'm having a really good time. They have really great chemistry. All the supporting characters. There is an actor in this film, and I'm not going to say his name because I'm going to butcher it, but he's in Notting Hill. He's probably one of the best parts of Notting Hill, and he's also playing the villain. I believe he's playing the villain in the upcoming Amazing Spider-Man. You know, he's really good. I mean, there's just a lot of good chemistry. There's tons of actors that I don't want to say because I didn't know about any of these actors as I was going into the movie. I only knew that there was going to be the main cast, and then all of a sudden you get all these cameos, and some of them were extended, some of them longer, some of them would appear here and there, and they all seem to work. They all seem to have a purpose. This whole movie, for me, was never dull. It was never boring. But again, it came down to that title and the trailer. It kind of ruined the experience just a little bit. I mean, I still laughed. And the laughs never stopped. For some reason, I just don't know what's wrong with this movie. Maybe there's nothing wrong. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I should have never seen the trailer. If you've never seen the trailer in this movie, don't ever see the trailer. Just go and watch the 5-Year Engagement. Like most of Judd Apatow's films, there's a lot of raunch. Not as much as there is in other films, but there's some raunch mixed with the heart, and so it's got stuff for the guys, or the girls like that, and then the guys, and the girls who like the love, and this is just a lot of fun. You know, there is just a lot of sweet humor in this that surprised me, that I enjoyed. Again, I laughed a lot. There was enough story to get you through it. The movie is a little long. It runs over 2 hours. I think it could have been maybe 20 minutes shorter, and then maybe it would have been the best comedy ever. But I had a few problems. Not with the actual presentation. It looked really good. I never once, dozed off or rolled my eyes at whatever situation was coming. I liked what I was watching on screen. It just a little too long. And again, the title and the trailer kind of just, I wish I didn't see that. I'm sorry, I'll shut up. Or, as my mother would say, I will be quiet. I'm going to give the 5-Year Engagement, which should be called, oh man, I'm bringing it up again. I'm going to give the 5-Year Engagement 3 stars, 3 strong stars. I wanted to give it a half. Just couldn't. I had to be perfectly honest with you. I could not give it that half star. I'm going to give it 3 stars out of 4. Maybe on a second viewing or third viewing, maybe I'll like this movie even more. I didn't see anything too outrageously wrong. I mean, anything else would be nitpicking. And maybe I'm nitpicking the title of the trailer, so I got to just... If you enjoyed this review and you disagree or agree with what I just said, please comment below and like this video. And you can subscribe up top right there. Push that button. You can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter at MovieManCHAD. Go to WeLiveFilm.com. I actually looked on the website this week, and I'm happy to say that I'm part of one of the video roundups, Titanic 3D. So you can check out my review on there and like 5 or 6 other reviewers. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.